Okay, so, you know, maybe it was the eclipse. Maybe it was just Latif giving me a cue that I missed. Either way, welcome to Gem Collectors with Shawn. I am that Shawn. Hopefully all of you have enjoyed your eclipse experience no matter, well, actually, when this is airing, it's about the time when the eclipse is going to be going on. So, enjoy it. Now, let me tell you, because you know me, I will go off on a tangent with very little effort. I did the eclipse thing. Now, to me, I would say, oh, it was a couple years ago. When in reality, when I headed up to the center line, in other words, for maximum length of totality, total obfuscation, big word, it actually went right over Chunky Gal Mountain, which you know is where the ruby deposit is. And I'm so familiar with that area. And it was the last time I actually did solo camping by myself. So I just took off, big four-wheel drive Hemi truck, and because I knew there was this absolute amazing opening to the skies that I could get away from everything. Well, I didn't exactly at Chunky Gal because some other people had the same idea that must have known that place. It was better because it caused me to walk past a gated trail and up until there was a bend in the trail. When there's a bend in the road that was closed off, it was a National Forest road, then there was enough opening in the sky. Here's the thing that's going to disappoint people. And so because I love astronomy, even though I know very little, it's probably the least thing that I love so much that I know so little about. But eclipses, yeah, I went for the center line. That was amazing. And, you know, you can imagine that if you were a primitive culture, the Mayans, Aztecs, and if you were a shaman, or, and of course they could, predict an eclipse. Imagine the power you would have and say, you know, if you don't honor and obey my wishes, I will darken the skies at, you know, 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And when it comes true, with the primitive cultures, imagine how scared you would actually be. I mean, it would be terrifying without science being involved in it. And that is what happened, and that's what gave, you know, many cultures, the leaders, the higher-ups, that was the secret, that was the power, was being able to predict such things. So, to experience the maximum effect, I went to the center line, and it was just shy, a minute 58 seconds, I think, of totality, and it did. It went black. I mean, it was really wild. The sad thing is, it was such a short amount of time that it actually lasted. I was in another one, and the obfuscation percentage was around 85 to 90%. In other words, 85 to 90% of the sun covered by the moon. It might as well been, you know, 8 o'clock in the morning or, you know, 7 in the evening, that much light. You know, even if there is a little bit of that sun peeking around, you don't get the sense and the thrill and feel the energy or lack of, meaning no sun's rays, without the totality factor in, without that total darkness in the middle of your day, you know, which just throws the whole body and mind away. But, you know, to look at it safely, and of course, the Raven keeps saying, Shawn, you know, I need to look, I think I got some 3D glasses. I said, no, not 3D glasses. I said, don't look at it, you want to see 3 suns. No, I said, like they said, if you have the right glasses on, meaning you put them on and you can't see anything normal in front of you, which are, I have, of course, the highest and best rated, because they're welder's glasses. Welder's glasses. The wavelength of light and the Kelvin, in other words, the measurement of the amount of light when I am welding platinum. Welding means not using solder. That means you're taking, you know, full platinum against full platinum, which is the correct way we were always supposed to solder platinum shanks for them not to pop or come apart, or Worse is when you see the sizing line. When you see that sizing mark, that means someone sized your platinum ring in white gold. And if you want to learn a lot about that, don't forget, there's 30 different episodes that Asif directed, and I hosted and did the work of every imaginable type of project that you would come across working with your home goldsmith or custom goldsmith or bench jeweler, and including lost wax casting, carving, and making an incredible piece with a spinning opal even in it in rose gold, which we alloyed out, rolled it out. So that was total fabrication, which you can call handmade. So the two different methods, so including showing you what it takes to size a platinum ring, what it takes to size a gold ring, and why platinum is so much more difficult. So that level of energy, of the light, when you are welding the two platinum stacks together is so bright and so hot, it is equivalent to a star. The actual, I guess let's just put it this way for simplicity's sake, the actual Kelvin or the actual rating of the light and the energy that is created by the high temperature it takes of platinum replicates that. And it will burn a hole in your retina in no time at all. I mean, I have just barely glanced by accident at that level of pinpoint of light for just like a moment in passing, and it will literally stay in my eye where I can see it for hours, and finally it will fade away. So that's not a situation anyone wants to put themselves in or do. So my welding glasses, when I put them on and I do platinum welding, it looks like I'm looking at a match. In other words, the energy and the wavelength of light is, completely reduced, and the harmful rays are removed. Welders' glasses work better than anything, and they should. So anyway, a lot of you are maybe enjoying the eclipse as we speak. I know Miss Barbara was going to have tea time. Well, we will read. Let's go through the comments quickly because I have one of the most amazing shows, and I can't wait to simply even just talk about it, huh? Lateef and Dave are going to give me a lot of teasing if I don't show more than 10 items. So let's get to the comments and get going here. Cindy in Pennsylvania says, hello, Rock family, such a wonderful show. See, Lateef, they still like it. Beautiful specimens this week. Another week, I would buy every item. Over $1,300 worth of treasures. Trivia, Aragonite Group, and Brookite and Anatase, which, if we go to the questions, which I have handily-dandily, somewhat. The question was, cerussite formula is PbCO3. In other words, a carbonate, because calcium is like CaCO3. Calcium carbonate, Pb, means plum bum in Latin, meaning, so it's a lead carbonate. Cerussite formula is PbCO3, a carbonate, which belongs to what mineral group? So same thing like as in siderite, FeCO3, all those with the same analog, the same ending. The answer would be the aragonite group, because aragonite is actually a polymorph of calcite, and we know a polymorph means different crystal systems, same chemical formula. Think about how much you're actually learning, which all of these things make sense. So when you go to a show and you see an aragonite specimen, you know that it is chemically identical to calcite, but it looks different because of the different crystal system, hence it's a polymorph. If you actually said any of those words, used polymorph, used same chemical formula, and if the mineral dealer knew anything much at all, which they should, their jaw would drop to the floor, because the level of knowledge of 99% of the people that walk through a gem and mineral door to a gem and mineral show are fun-loving, early rock towns, came to see the jewelry, not really at the level that we are at right now, including many of the dealers. So, second question was name 2 polymorphs of rutile. Speaking of polymorphs, so rutile we know is a simple formula, TiO2, meaning titanium dioxide, di meaning 2. So TiO2. A polymorph, again, of that, there's actually 5 in nature, but 3 that we have come across and that we've actually had here in the show. The other 2 being brookite, which I showed you that specimen with the brookite and the rutile in the one specimen, and the other polymorph of rutile and brookite is anatase, and that is a really unusual looking polymorph. Ones I've had have been steel deep blue in color and look like a bipyramidal spinel or something. So anyway, that's what we were looking for. So let's go back and see how everybody did. So Miss Cindy goes on to say, watching a YouTuber who rides her motorcycle all over the world. She is in Madagascar now, heading for the West Coast. I have a new appreciation for the hardships of life and how incredibly difficult collecting the gem and minerals in that country must be. Also, the live feeds from the Icelandic volcano eruptions have been spectacular. My part of Pennsylvania is to have 92% eclipse visibility. Obscurity or visibility. Yep, I know. And so let me know, Cindy, at 92% if, provided it's not going to rain, I saw a lot of areas are going to get rain, what you thought about the level of light. I'd be interested to see. And speaking about Iceland, my son's mom, you know, brought out a little envy in me because she actually recently got back from a trip to Iceland, and they actually had it all scheduled and flew out, and it had that first big eruption while she was there. Lucky person. That's that connection. Now, Madagascar, I have a lot of dealer friends that actually do business in Madagascar, and once you're established, it is an environment that you can trust people, and that you know, the British have been there a long time, and so they're kind of used to colonialism and to, I guess, lighter, I'm just going to use the word, European looking gem dealers. And that's who they mostly do business with. So it is a place you can do business with, but it's best if you are shown the front door by going with someone that is well known first. And so I have the door that I can walk through there if I want to go with probably one of the top Madagascan mineral dealers there is. And also, again, I told you last week about the door to go to Orongo Mountains in Namibia. Oh, maybe. I just want to get to Arkansas, and I know I'm going to find some diamonds. As sure as anything, I know I am going to find diamonds. Just get me there. Okay, Mr. Anthony in Massachusetts says, hello all, lots of great specimens. Unfortunately, not this week for me. Great show though. Recently, I've seen on more than a couple sites online, mostly geology type groups, and ironically, back in the 5th grade, my teacher mentioned that right down the street a few 100,000 years ago, there was once a volcano that stuck in my head. Now I'm hearing about it from geological sources. Outcrops of feldspar across the street from a gravel quarry on private property. However, I can see someone has been breaking away chunks. From a distance, I can't tell what I'm seeing. The distance, that's where you gotta change. Close the distance up. From a distance, I can't tell what I'm seeing. I believe I see some hiking in my future, yes sir, around the perimeter of the quarry. When we were kids, we would swim in the water holes in the summer that were left from the digging. The feldspar I mentioned looks like any rock-faced outcrop. I need to look closer. Indeed. Side note, this gravel quarry is actually within the city limits of Boston, the furthest southwest corner of the city. The volcano is said to have been less than a mile to the south from the quarry. I thought it was pretty cool, just thought I would share this. trivia, aragonite, and anatase and brookite. Well done. Eyes down. That's where the rocks are. Good job, Anthony. Well, you know, how much do you want to know about your volcano? You're absolutely 100% correct. The years, though, is not hundreds of thousands. It actually goes back 400 plus million years ago, which really was the start. 2.5 billion years ago, there was actually two what they would call microcontinents that spun off Laurentia and Avalandia. And you know, we won't get into having to learn your microcontinents and everything, what everything was before all the continental plates shifted and moved around and collided with each other, etc. But at the Route 93 and 28 is the corner of exactly the formation you're talking about, because all those years ago, the Blue Hills volcano erupted 440 million years ago. Yeah, Blue Hills volcano. And there's also a geological formation called the Pondville concretion. And I'm going to tell you what the two have to do with each other. It's where sedimentary meets volcanic. There's actually an area in the park where the two colliding type of rock masses are in one frame, basically, right next to each other. And so what you have is a felsic volcanic deposit. Now, felsic is kind of important because you end up really hearing a lot about that word when you read into geology, especially of granites and whatnot. Just think of it this way: fel for feldspar, and the sic part for silicon, as in quartz. So felsic means a heavy feldspar quartz deposit. And that's why you're seeing so much feldspar around, is specifically because of that. And the quartz is in a porphyry. So then you had, over the top of it came sedimentary deposition, and a concretion is where you have a different size rocks or pebbles. It could be different size, but this particular type of formation in the Boston area has huge boulders, which is rare as part of its concretional makeup. And what it happens is the mudstones, the siltstones, end up cementing all those boulders together, which could have been put in place by glaciation, through also riverine water, bringing them together, and then mudstone and siltstone eventually hardening up around them, creating what is known as a concretion. And so with that type of geology right in Boston, you don't have to go far to find some really cool rocks. You just have to know what and where to look for them. You have a type of geology in the area that no one knows about. So in Hyde Park, outside Boston, this particular deposit goes, is 600 meters thick. And people have no idea, truly, that there is a volcanic activity in the area of Boston or Massachusetts. It's just unthought of in their mind. But think about this. Think about the diamond deposits up in Canada. There's not volcanoes up there. No. It's amazing what time will do. And yet you have the ancient kimberlite pipes, but no more volcanoes. So it's amazing what erosion can do. So with moving east, the deposit fades out as you get towards Nantasket and thins and narrows out. But that still is a very large size volcanic complex. And it's all right there for the taking. And so, absolutely, Mr. Anthony, I have heard and knew about that deposit, but we never had a reason to bring it up, so I am glad you brought it up, because that really gets people to realize that what's under your feet isn't what the eyes may see. So we may see a flat ground, but underneath that ground at one time may not have been so flat and may have been very active volcanically. And it has left behind all the telltale signs of that. There's rhyolite, which is volcanic, and other goodies. So great information for us to talk about and learn from, because rocks are where you find them, and you just have to know where to find the better ones, and or just the interesting ones. All right. Great comments there. Anthony, okay, also, Mr. Anthony, I just want to say, I don't have it now, but I have set aside, there's an opal parcel, an Australian opal parcel. I want you to see it first. I've got it set aside for you first. And also, on that Mexican opal parcel, I want to just give that to you. So I know, and after going through it, I fully understand. But it's a parcel that someone like you can use and appreciate. So anyway, keep that in mind on those. The opal parcel isn't going to be a lot of money either. So I'll show it to you first, but it's part of a new estate that I've gotten, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So I would definitely check out that quarry. Okay, Miss Elisa in Florida says, hello, Professor Shawn, the lovely Raven, GSN crew, and Rock family. I hope everyone had a wonderful Easter. Thank you so much for the quartz with chlorite. I have wanted something like this, and in true nature of the show, you fulfilled that wish. It's the magic. Thank you very much. I'm opting out this week, but my answer to the week's trivia is Aragonite Group, Anatase, and Brookite. Well done. My favorite item of the week was the Goethite specimen from Colorado. Have a great weekend, everyone. Yes, I don't know who, but someone did buy that amazing Goethite specimen. Ooh, rightfully so. Matt in Texas, and you know Matt. Matt is Radioactive Man. Howdy to our gem, rock, and mineral family. Yep, I did grab the 2R items as fast as I could, and they are on the way, because I actually brought them in, and they were open for anyone to purchase, but I know that Matt had started a collection that you have to be a little bit more mindful of and a little bit more careful with due to some of the levels that some of these specimens may be. And so now that I know I have someone out there that collects and has the right storage container to put some of the higher rated level radioactive items, then yeah, I'll offer them, or to anyone else. They're going to be open for grabs for anyone. But I knew that Matt might be interested, so he certainly was. And remember last week, if you did want to see, I mean, I use a Geiger counter. I actually show exactly the radioactivity in the pieces, because that is all part of our world around us and the science to what we have before us. So trivia. Answer, Matt has cerussite is a carbonate. What mineral group does it belong to? The Aragonite group. Name 2 polymorphs of rutile, brookite, and anatase. I have to submit short responses this week due to such a heavy schedule. Blessings to all. Matt in Shiner. Blessings back to you, Matt. Miss Barbara says, hi, Professor Shawn, Raven, GSN crew, and the whole Rock family. Great show. Someone else got the crystal goethite, but I got the gorgeous Shattakai. I didn't know and don't know where the goethite wound to, but I figured if you ever really wanted a Shattakai, a really amazing one, that was the one. And I was thinking of you, Barbara, so I'm glad to see that worked out. Now that's a Shattakai. You are exactly right. That has everything you would want in a Shattakai, especially when it covers the quartz and the little vugs and all the... aesthetically gorgeous. Last week's star was the malachite, but here it's shattuckite, front and center in all its acicular botryoidal glory. Couldn't have said it better there myself. Opal-AN was a new one on me, meaning amorphous, N meaning network-like structure. So opal amorphous network. Well, of course, if it's technically an opal, it is amorphous. So I'm not sure why they're renaming it from hyalite. So they dumped hyalite overall. And here's a heads up, lepidolite, which we know and I've always thought to be a lithium mica. That is not a recognized name. Check this out. The closest they've come up to a name for it is it belongs to the series between polylithionite and trilithionite. And I actually have to, can say that from knowledge and memory. I think I'll stick to lepidolite. Much easier. That name came from, I think it was Greek, but Penny will correct me, lepidos for scale. And because if you look at a lot of lepidocrocite, it'll look like, especially when it's in kind of a botryoidal form, it'll look like scales, how mica flakes off. So I can see how they got that in. But yeah, so hyalite, which of course is the ultraviolet type opal that doesn't have a play of color, but is so beautiful. As to, okay, here we go. Amorphous opal with a glass-like structure, and we know to check it for its UV chops. Keeping an eye out for anyone who uses the new term. Yeah, let's see if anyone does. Probably not. As to the trivia, cerussite is the aragonite group. Rutile is a polymorph of anatase and brookite. Dealer Mustafa has been bringing in superb ceiling fan paddle-shaped cola-colored individual 5-centimeter crystals of brookite from Pakistan over the past few years. Check them out online. Someone got cute and flashed a quick thumbs up sign and subscriber banner under your sign-off speech. Let's go for 20,000. I'm all for that. Yeah, that's cute. I didn't know they had done that. I'm all for anyone willing to help promote me there because I didn't know that's what I was supposed to be doing was like and subscribe. Okay, so that is going to do it. Let me see. Any other comments I want to make? Oh, yes, regarding those brookites coming in from Pakistan. I know. I've actually had them. I've actually sold a couple of them here in the show, and they are unique, different, and much larger than normally the acicular needles I see, like in that quartz specimen. So enjoy the eclipse while watching. Shawn, be well all. Miss Barbara in Brooklyn. Okay. That's going to do it for the trivia. This week we have the winner is Cindy in Texas. Let's show Cindy what she has won. This is something different. And also, speaking of brecciated, which we weren't, we were speaking of concretions and conglomerates and other type of formations. But this is a group of nice opals, and you can see that they have been kind of just mosaically put into this material and then cut down from above. But I tell you what, some of these, you get all three of them. Some of these, I mean, what neat, if you were making a Zen garden, what neat little steps to the temple these would make, wouldn't they? So, yeah. All right, let me put those away. I'll be right back with the start of the show. Okay, there's so much I can talk about of things you're going to see today that you may not have seen. But in general, the more I think of things we've covered that I think you understand, then the more items I can get to, the better. This comes in a presentation display box. You know what it is. You know what it is. This is what made the cephalopod going back 400 million years, known as a goniotype, prior to an ammonite. The ammonite up in Canada, the ammonite shells that were laid at the bottom, their oxygen sources cut off under heat and pressure, the calcareous external shell parts, and I'm holding this up, for dramatic effect yet. You're not to see it. You notice that. Had not made the metamorphosis change over to, speaking of, aragonite. Yes, see? Calcite to aragonite. A polymorphic change, but it makes all the difference in the world because then you can get that in the shell. Look at that. That is stunning. You see how everything, you don't see any green? Look at that. Change the angle a little bit. Wow. Now, let me show you. I have doublet on this. Most of the amylites you're going to find are doublets. In other words, you can see 2 layers here. So you have a shell. Now, I watched mining be done and how they do it. So they take off from the wall with a backhoe about 1 inch of the wall at a time. When they hit the edge of one of these larger plate or even smaller plate, but maybe there's a few on it, if they think there's an ammonite on the plate, they stop. Then they slowly scrape away, chip away, and expose the surface all along. I didn't believe it. They had a squeeze tube of super glue. Yes, super glue. And they'd super glue, nonstop. Every little bit they did, they put another layer of super glue on it, which I had no idea. It was absolutely fascinating how they extracted this material in one piece, because obviously it's shell. It doesn't want to come out in one piece. So almost all the ones you've seen, there's been epoxy resins, there's been super glue involved. That's the only way they could get them out, like you see these magnificent multicolored whole ammonite shells. And of course, you also see me have the Madagascar ammonites with, if you polish down the surface, you get to that play of color as well. But that play of color is not the pressurized version, let's say, of the shell like it is in Canada. It's just a different way that it was formed and a different end result. Now, so what they do is, with the thin shell that they're able to extract and keep in place, then they will back it with usually some local matrix or something similar. Shale often is the case. And you can see that the epoxy or the resin has been left to the outside. Now, this is a good one. This is a really nice stone. And what I mean by a good one is the fact that it is not a triplet, that this is actually the shell right there. So what you're looking at right here, I am touching the shell itself, the ammonite. And so this is fully acceptable, and you know how picky I am about any enhancements, but it's almost a must do on the majority of these type pieces. Now, here's another thing. I'm going to have to tell you the truth. The truth be that these colors that you're seeing right now, as dynamic as they are not the rarest or the most expensive. If this was an opal, and with that black base color, oh my, 6-figure type stone, because in opal we know that the reds, yellows, oranges like this, look at even the purples, the crimsons and that, look at that, are extremely rare and very valuable. Just the opposite when it comes to ammonite. What happens is, to get the red, orange, and green colors, that is created and forms when the shell layer is thicker. Now, follow what I'm saying here. Because it is thicker, it has been able to survive the greater pressures and under all the weight of the ground that's above it. And believe me, where they're mining this at, no matter whether it's at the big famous big mine or other smaller mines, there is overburden. In other words, there's a lot of material on top of it, weighing down on it. Now, what that happens is, if the shell the amylite layer, let's say, is not thick enough, it gets completely destroyed and crushed and is not able to be recovered. Therefore, by default, you're going to have more yellows, oranges, and reds in the market and greens like this because it has been able to survive the process to getting to the gemstone stage and then the mining and extraction of it. So that is, it's not so much that those colors aren't found, it's that they're not found in more than little shards or pieces that are not usable for any kind of jewelry purpose or whatnot. Now, this is absolutely stunning. Along the edge, you know, if you bezel set or whatever, it's fine. If not, you can always, if you're a cutter, you can trim it back. You can actually trim, this is so soft, anybody can use a sandpaper and actually clean this up. But the rest of it is just fine the way it is. Look at it in my hand. This is a really dynamic piece. You can imagine from a distance, this is going to be noticed on you if you make it into a piece of jewelry. And you can do that by as simple as drilling a hole in the top of it. Now, I usually do that for free, but on something like this, as cheap as I'm offering it for sale, I'll probably charge, like, if you want it done, like $15 just to cover my time. But there shouldn't be any problem. If you want a hole drilled, if you have it hole drilled, I can put a sterling silver bail on it or a gold bail. Sterling silver bail will probably be like $25. 14 karat gold bail with gold what it is now, probably like $75. So I offer that too. Just talk to the sales rep and have them tell them you want a work order created. And, you know, I can always, from that point, then give you an estimate or whatever it may be. Okay, so you can see this is a nice, large piece, very usable. And in the world of jewelry and gemstones, this is striking, simply striking, especially with the crimson colors and then with its ability to go yellow and then all red and then wherever that green angle, there it is, green angle. So how fun is that? How about this? The entire gem piece. And you never know what I'm going to come up with. Never know. You're going to see some jewelry today. I'll talk about it when I come to it. All right, so this one, you're not going to believe it. I will offer for an astounding, basically sale price of only $58. $58 on that, and that is a real looker. Now, if you want to cover the spectrum, I have item 117-2024. This is pretty much as good as it gets, what I'm getting ready to show you. This is as good as it gets in every way, and is I'm going to sell it. I am willing to sell it. Look at this. Not only is it, see, I'm holding back. I'm holding back. Ready? Oh yeah, I'm not kidding you. Oh, we're just still not there. Boom. This is everything you want, including the rare and desirable dragon skin pattern. Look at that. You see that jigsaw patchwork puzzle pieces of color? There's a word for it. And can we put that word in the graphic, please, sir? Dragon skin. And then it has the colors. It has the valuable colors, and the reality is it is in person, when you're looking at it in person with the human eye, the purples and lavender are even more intense. And let me show you with a there we go, with an additional light source. And you look at that. Look at that. That is a face of almost all blue and purple, and it has it in every direction. So it's not unidirectional, it's omnidirectional, and it is simply really as good as it gets, because you know the other reason, which I haven't even talked about. There's something missing in the description that says it all. The word doublet, because it is not. Look at this. You are talking about the real deal. This is the, and you can see, look at how thin this was. You saw how much thicker the color bar and shell part was on the doublet. Well, this is solid. There's no doublet. There's no second layer added. This is the layer. And look at how thin that layer is. Look at that. Dave, give him a look at just how thin that is. I mean, almost invisible. Can you imagine getting that much color even out of a color bar of opal? You wouldn't. You couldn't. Look at that. You almost just can't even see it's there, but it is. And that is why it doesn't survive. That is why the blues, the purples and lavenders are the rare colors. Oh, here's what I didn't finish mentioning. So with the diffraction of light between the layers of the ammonite, the thicker the layers are, as in what you saw in the first piece, those thicker layers are what allows the diffraction to give you back the oranges and the reds and the yellows and the greens. The thin part of a shell, when it's that thin, that is where you get your other colors. So that's the other part, is that the thinness versus thickness and how it relates to the color. So not only is it rare when it's that thin because of its destructibility, it is the blue color because as thin as it is, it breaks up the light differently with that thin of a piece than it does a thicker piece. So this can be made into a piece of jewelry just by drilling it. And as we come away from it, you can see in my hand just how big and lively this piece is. This is a stunning piece, and if you are a true collector, you are, and a purist, then it not being a doublet, and I don't mean a true collector, like if you get a nice doublet piece, anything wrong with that. Not in the case, in opal, it makes a huge difference in value. Not when it comes to ammonite, because the majority of ammonite, and watch for that. So when you see a piece priced, like let's say this, and it says all these great things about it, and then there's some big price on it. If you compare apples with apples, and one piece is a doublet, and the other piece is all natural like this is, then without even having to necessarily say it, it's obvious that this piece that has not been made as a doublet or anything else is by far a much more valuable and much more rare. Now, when I'm looking at this right now, oddly enough, I am also seeing some fantastic greens that I may either am not holding it exactly right, or that's just the wavelength of light at the time. And in the studio at the moment, we're not using as many lights as you see. So you're going to see this, and you're going to see so many other beautiful colors that are not, you're not seeing right now. Dave, let me put this light on and turn this one. Hold on. Let me put and try one thing. Thank you. I want to see. There we go. There we go. See the difference? There's the green I was talking about that you weren't seeing. And remember, this is the little flashlight that can mimic sunlight at a particular latitude. So it's really fantastic when you get just the right amount of green in there, and now this is able to show it. Plus also the lavender, there's some wonderful lavenders and purples that will be available to be seen as well. Okay, so thank you, sir. All right, now with all that said, and this is really one of those pieces that is the history. It's old. This is an estate item that goes way back, and it belonged to a client of mine. So I'm just going to go and tell you the story. What you're getting ready to see is some pieces that came to me in a estate from a gentleman named Bill. And I had worked with he and his family for decades. And Bill loved gems and jewelry. He had made for his wife through me way more jewelry than she could ever possibly wear in a lifetime. After his sudden passing away, she let her daughter and daughter-in-law pick what they wanted. And then she sent to me items that she knew she wouldn't be wearing anymore. And so what I have gotten back is one of the rarest things that you will ever see, and that is jewelry made by Shawn, me, which I don't get time to do that kind of work anymore. Remember the last batch that came through a couple years ago, or a year ago? Yeah, a couple years ago probably now, of jewelry items and things that I made. That was through another similar estate of a family passing away and then reaching out to me to sell for them. Well, that's happened again. So today you're going to see new gemstones you haven't seen before. You're going to see jewelry made by Shawn Jewelry and some other gemstone surprises that I found, of items, of course, that I haven't shown you. This is Gem Collectors with Shawn. Even though it's Mineral Collectors with Shawn, Prospectors with Shawn, you know, Goldsmithing with Shawn. What I haven't shown you much of lately is gemstones. We may change that today. This piece is extremely valuable, extremely collectible, extremely rare, and doing nothing but getting rarer. It took 70 million years to make that one. There's not going to be any more. There's only that deposit in Canada that supplies the world's supply of it. And so, gotta appreciate this stuff. Now, price on the dragon skin, again, for the size relative to value, this is a opportunity you would not believe, and it's one that isn't going to be discounted, because I just as soon hang on to it until it found the right home, because I can't go any lower than the only $148. $148. These things, due to the thickness of whatever back you want, carat weight doesn't really apply. It's kind of like an opal, where you have all that other weight that, you know, you charge for, or price per carat is based on, but that can be up in the air because of however amount the cutter wants to leave that is potch on it. All right, so in a piece like this, though, you want it to be the thickness that it is. It's proper balance all the way around. So at $4 a carat is what that breaks down to. That is really inexpensive, and these kind of items you're just not going to come across. Let's keep going. 117, 25, 24. I don't know, there's going to be a different one item to the next I'm going to be getting to here, because the fun is happening right now. Look at this next item. This is another, well, we talked about it. I'm going to open this up. So you're going to learn about incredible opals, Koroit opals. Koroit is from the southwest corner of Queensland, Australia. I, of course, have been in Lightning Ridge, spent many weeks in the Ridge and in the New South Wales Territory, not too far away from where Queensland Boulder Opal is. Well, this is a totally separate field. The Koroit Opal field is a separate opal field, and it has a separate look to the patterns of the ironstone that the mudstone and siltstone leaves behind. Here's a wonderful kidney bean shaped piece of Koroit opal, and it has some stunning colors in it. and you can see it's got a neat little eye. I don't know, just a very, very fun piece to work with. This is a parcel of 2. Now this has what you will recognize as a classic Koroit pattern to it. This type of pattern to the ironstone. Look at this. I love this free form cut. A fantastic polish on it. There is fire in every bit of the silica. Now what is around this is ironstone. Ironstone has up to 30% true iron content. In some places it's actually been mined for the iron. Other parts of this, like when you see that metallic glint, that's actually mostly hematite. Mostly hematite, especially the redder material. But in between, you have opal silica. This has a nice back bevel on it. They did a great cutting job, well executed. Both of these pieces, this should really get your motor going for realizing just what kind of deals you're going to be seeing. I could talk so much about every item, but I got a lot to get to. So you get both of these pieces for only $68. Only $68 for the 2 of them. And so when you think that that's like $34 a piece, this opal is getting really hard to find. The quality material is getting very, very hard to find. And here's an interesting stat about mining. Now remember, Roddy, I have my friend Roddy, and a lot of you have bought a lot of his items. He has his own mine and mines his own opal, and we have sold his opals. And he is having the time of his life. Now, a lot of his Boulder opal had a lot of ironstone, had beautiful, beautiful polishes and stuff, but some of it lacked a little bit of silica. But in general, here's why. Opal, Koroit opal field, the amount of ground that is 30 to 65 feet deep, you have that range, about 30 foot of range. It is all open pit mining. And so it is one of the most friendly and environmentally friendly mining because it's also easy to backfill. It's hit and miss. So they dig holes all over that area. It looks like bomb craters, but they do backfill them. It's open mining, so people can't just drop in a hole like normal mining and like what happens. In those opal fields, the opal is found in a argillaceous detrital sediments. And it's marine gray mudstone and siltstone that you can see, and then the sedimentary part, you know, of course, with time, it hardens it up, makes it as one, and acts as a cement for other layers. And why you see all the different colors? You have the hematite that can be involved. You have jasper. You have a lot going on in a Boulder opal. But in general, 30 tons of ironstone will yield 1 ton of rough opal potch, which yields 1 Boulder opal gemstone of gem value. 30 tons to 1 ton of rough opal potch to 1 Boulder opal gemstone. So to get these 2 stones, you're talking about initial 60 tons of material on average. Wow, that is a lot of material to move to get to it. Item 117-2924. We're going to get back to some more boulders after those, but first let's jump ahead a little bit and let me show you something you don't get to see too often, and that would be an ametrine. Now, you have seen more rough ametrine slices of the natural crystal than you have faceted ametrine. But right now, there's going to come a quick little lesson because I have so much to do, but once this is gone and past, you won't, there may not be another one that comes through. Here is the real thing, okay? This is real ametrine. You see the colors, you see the intensity of color. You see how the line is not exactly perpendicular. It's, you know, it's a little uneven. It's a little imperfect. That's a real stone. That's a natural stone. Now, I say that because I have a cutting job that was given to me, and I said, well, if you want to spend the money, but there's an issue with your stone, and since I have the two, it's perfect for the lesson right now. This is what was given to me to recut. Let me show you the corner. Here is the chipped corner. But what's wrong with that stone? Let me get this out and put the two side by side. These are lessons that should be given upstairs, personally, don't you think? I think you guys know that. Because so many people are spending lots of money buying this and thinking they're getting an ametrine. By definition of the fact that the material is actual genuine quartz, that is true. But how those two colors happen is through a natural radiation process in the ground that is such a rare occurrence. It only really occurs in one particular mine, in one small place in Brazil, but mostly in Bolivia at the Nahi mine. One place supplying the world's amount of ametrine, because to get everything right for ametrine to occur is a rare, hard thing to find. It has to do with radioactivity, natural radioactivity in the ground, most commonly associated with potassium-40. Okay, so if that happens naturally, what do you do if you have a piece of quartz and you want an ametrine out of it? Well, you just basically, like when you get an x-ray, they put a lead shield over part of you. To me, in my opinion, that's all this is. This is a treated, I know this is a synthetic amethyst, a synthetic ametrine, so that part is obvious to me. You see how the color is like perfect? I mean, it's like the perfect yellow, the perfect purple, and the perfect straight color delineation line, almost the perfect 50-50. You know, it's all too perfect, and there's too many of them. They're all over, and they're inexpensive. Something natural like this size, those colors, $20 a carat. Anything less, it becomes suspect. There is loads of it. This is man-made, and so they can do that just by treating half of it and shielding the other half. No big trick there. Look at the difference in color, and that will pretty much tell you, and also how imperfect this is. When they make these, they make everything too perfect. So there is an ametrine lesson, and mostly it has to do with the intensity of the purple and the intensity of the yellow and the perfect look that they think that we want to see, the cookers. So there you go. So we'll take this one out of the picture, buy the real deal, and you can have it for a price that I have not offered in a long time. $33 for the stone. $33 for the stone. That's only $6 a carat. Yeah. Now, let's look at item 117-3424. 117-3424, and just so you see it, get to see everything together at the same time, so you can make a decision if you want. This is the only other ametrine I will be showing, but it is a genuine natural ametrine. And look at that neat color. Look at this. So you think, well, that's not very ametrine-y looking, but it is. It's because of the cut. So let me get my hands out of the way, and let me show you. And this actually has a really nice color delineation, the way they cut it relative to the color. And you can see that by me turning it in different ways. Just Look at how much ametrine citrine is actually there. But depending on which way you look at it, you may not see it at all. I love the cut on this though. This is a beautiful, beautiful stone, very clean. Those little white specks are just stuff Shawn needs to wipe off of it. But this would be the top. It's just a little asymmetrical, so let me turn it this way. And that's a wonderful gem. So, that big of a stone, I am offering that guy for only, I guess I followed through and stayed with the $6 a carat, $68. So only $68 on that one. Wow. So let me take this one away. And those are amazing cuts, and at $6 a carat for the color and genuineness factor guaranteed, that counts for a lot. Okay, you're gonna love everything you're gonna be seeing. Item 117, 36, let me check that, eyes, 117, 3624. I did not make this particular one, but it would have been a style I would have similarly made because I believe in simple. And if you have a nice stone, simplicity is all you need to show it off best. I have a pendant that you won't much see something like this in general, because most of the time what I see is everything is too dressed up and maybe then becomes too expensive. Let me show you an opal. Look at this. And wow, this is even against a white background. I don't, look at this stone. Okay, we're gonna show you this in a couple of different, let me get this off there. I'm a hands-on kind of guy. Look at this stone. This gem has everything going for it. Now, let's look at it through a couple different light phases here. Let me turn this one off. Okay, now, here is more of an evening, a type of lighting environment. And look at those colors. This is Lightning Ridge. We don't deal, I don't have any, not that I won't have some Ethiopian, I may have some Ethiopian rough here before long, but here, you can see by the gray base color tone that this is a Lightning Ridge stone. And look at the framework. This actually looks a little bit like the state of Georgia, just a little bit. And look at all those colors, intense colors, and it's omnidirectional. In other words, it doesn't have to have a big high dome for it to show color in every direction. It doesn't matter. Look at that. Look at how obtuse you turn it. Angle-wise, this has a play of color. Now let me show this light on it and let's see what, look at that, look at that. That is a lively opal and protected in 14 karat gold, and that bezel handmade for it. Look at those. I think that probably would have every color of a prism that I can see is in there. That is gorgeous. And how about this? How about this? When I tell you the price, okay, first, do me a favor. Think about what you would consider what you might have to pay for this piece in, even in another vendor show, even in your local jeweler, etc. And then when I tell you what I'm offering, this is 14 karat gold. Gold, again, hit a record high. So a little bit of gold is worth a whole lot more than it was only a few weeks ago, even though it's been on an upward trend for some time. Price on this, how about it? 3-carat opal. I am going to offer this for less than what just the opal would sell for. That opal, $100 a carat goods easy. That would make it $300 just for the opal. For the entire piece, 14-karat gold and all, $228. $228. And look at that, even at that angle. Look at that. Look at the fire. That matters. That type of color, play of color, matters. Now, let's keep going. Item 117, 3224. Getting ready to show you the first made by Shawn piece here. Let's take a look. And remember, I tend to like to add gold. If I'm going to, all the labor involved in making a piece, you know, I'm not going to hollow it out real thin. And no, I want to make sure that you can feel the weight of the gold. And also, on the Shawn pieces, you should be able to see where I have signed them. Check this out. Here is another pendant, and it is stunning. Wow, look at this. Okay, so this is with my hat rim bezel around it. And then, instead of hollowing out all this metal, it's solid. It's solid. Of course, I did that when gold was probably at least half or a third of what it is now. This has come back to me. Oh, let's see. Okay, we have it in the graphic. Excellent. Oh, we can see it right there. Remember, my I would always hand engraved, or I wouldn't call it engraved exactly, hand scripted my logo in most of the pieces I made, which was my initials, my first and last initial, and then the year I made the piece in between. So it's always 2 S's and the year. So this was made in 1998. 1998, S98S. Look at that opal. That is a black opal right there. Black opal, a little on the end scale, you know, a little bit more towards gray, but still considered dark enough to be called black opal, and it shows. Look at the body color tone of the stone, the darkness to it. Oh, one thing I want to point out, and this has even thrown off gemologists in the past. I've had to point out to them when it comes to opal and particular fire patterns, that at the fire pattern breaks, it often can look like maybe a crazed line. You know, okay, I'm only saying that because this shows a little bit of that, which you see that part right there. So someone might first, oh, is that a crazed mark? No. All it is, as you can see, it's where fire starts and stops. You see right there? It follows those lines. And that's why you get these different patterns, just like in the ammonite at the start and stopping points of some of the flash patterns. And so the rest of it, of course, is drop dead gorgeous. Let me show you. Look at this. Look at all these colors. And in every direction I turn it. In other words, there is not a dead place in it. And yeah, there's no area of it that does not have color. You just have to get it at the right angle, and then bam, you get all those colors, including the valuable reds and oranges and yellows. Nice size bale. Nice size weight overall, 4.40 grams. So let me get this neat little thing here that I borrowed from the girls. Look at that angle, beautiful blues. Anyway, let me set that right there while I look up the price. Okay, this I made at cost. Truly made this, at least right now, offering this at cost. What it would cost now to remake, because remember, when you buy these estate pieces like this, you don't pay for any of the labor involved anymore. The labor is removed. And that's just the way in the secondary market what happens. So you're only paying for the materials. That's why, at least from Shawn, that's why this is only $488. $488 when, again, that opal at 300 a carat would be 450. 300 a carat would be a good deal. Here's the other neat thing. You can see, and I always open up the back. Look how dark that is. That's easily a black opal. It's signed. You can see that too. Very much a black opal. A black opal for 300 a carat would be inexpensive. But you get, and the gold mounting that would easily cost the $500 to make. So bonus on bonus on, wow, that's a steal. And that's what you're getting there. But we'll just wait. Just you wait. Okay, I don't know what's next. I'm just going to show whatever comes into my hands next. Oh, look at this. Item 1172724. 1172724. I tell you what, I could not have more fun than, again, getting to work with these items and also my pieces of jewelry that have come back to me again to get to offer all of you. And if you notice, it's some of the designs, they're just some classic simple. The KISS principle, keep it simple, and I'm going to use the other S, keep it simple, stupid. Or was it? Yeah, the item number of this next item is 1172724. If I can get the bag open. Now, yeah, so keep it simple. And that's why the Blue Box store, Tiffany & Company, has done so well over the 100 more years, is because their designs are timeless, because they are simple. Think about the Elsa Peretti bean, or the X's and O's, or the Tiffany solitaire. Timeless, timeless, timeless. Look at this. Something from my birthday collection. Don't see those. So you know if they're garnets. You know if they're garnets, they're coming from me. From that collection, I decided I was probably never going to get a chance to look at the cutting, to do anything with them. These in person are actually a brighter orange, there we go, I think, than what I just saw. So you will not be disappointed. Look at the cutting on that. Wow. Those are stunning. Yeah, there's a much finer orange on those. And let me just see something here with all my toys in front of me. Let me try that. There we go. There's oh, look at that. Look how that changed it. Turn that light back on, Dave. There we go. So you can see through the side, these have a classic mandarin color. And there we go. Beautiful right there, actually. Have a incredible match and incredible brilliance on those. Wow. So, and here's what's really incredible. Only have the one pair, folks. So, take advantage of them. Yeah, you can, okay, so you have the dimensions, everything up there. Because they are very inexpensive for you. And you'll be the first person I tell as soon as I find the price. Now, I just am not believing that I made it this little, but we'll go with that. How about this? Bowstones, carat 78, $38. I'm just making that up. That's $19 a stone. That's stupid. $38. There. Oh, Dave, there we go. Now, Dave got the color. That's it. Dave nailed it. One moment ago, it was spot on. But anyway, $38 for two. That's when Shawn doesn't know what he priced them at, and he's making it up on the fly price. Okay. Ah, man. Okay, I don't know. This looks like next. 1171724. Here is what everyone wants when it comes to an opal. This, of course, remember, opal is my favorite stone, so it almost was going to be a third collection I was going to do. It is also my mother's birthstone and my son's birthstone, so I am, tied into opal even before I knew my son was going to be born in October, and so really fortunate, the same month as my mom, and that worked out well because that way I didn't have to put in another gemstone if I was going to make a piece up with their birthstones. So this amazing piece that I was going to show you, I'll show you in a moment because apparently it heard what I had to say and jumped out of my hand, and we'll find it in a moment for you. I'll make up for it. Watch this. 1171824. Oh yeah, watch how clever I am to distract you from that with this. You got it there? 1171824? Huh? Yeah, I was, but I lost it. I did. Are you going to embarrass me and make me actually say that I lost it just then? Okay, we're going to find it here in just a moment, but I have a captive audience. Got to keep the show moving. Check this out, everybody. I want to show you. Let me show you this jewel. Look how beautiful these would go, because this opal, I just noticed, has strong yellows and oranges. And is a wonderful gray base, Lightning Ridge gray base opal, as you can see. Look at that. Look at those colors coming through there. And look at all the colors in it. Now, I'm not going to distract you with these, so we'll move these for the moment, and before I lose them. And you know what? Let me get rid of that. Look at that. Look at that opal. And look at all those colors in there. And opal rough like that, this is so hard to find. Look at how thick the color bar had to be. All right, so you had a color bar where the color bar, it almost could have been a double-sided piece, a little bit of clay in there, but that is stunning. Stunning. Look, that color pattern you're seeing on the bottom like that, that is a real desirable color pattern. It's like an aurora borealis on steroids as it comes across the face of that. And there's a little color, there's a little delineation, hold on a minute, going right through the middle, which I think is really cool. So you see this little color break delineation right there. You see where that stops and the other starts. So let's turn it around and see. Oh, wow, this is a fantastic play of color with the way the patterns traverse across that piece. Let me show it in my hand. You can see how big it is. It is a really nice size, and that fire is visible from a long ways away. All right, so I'm going to put it right there. Wow, that is a beaut. For just a quick moment, as I again look the price up on this, and you're not going to believe it. 2.40 carat. That opal, if it was 100 a carat, it would be a good value. Look at the gray base to it. Price on it, $118. Only $118, and believe me, you are going to find it more attractive in person than even the way it looks now. All right, let me put up some of these. I'll be right back. This was the one that I quickly found on the floor. When you have a nice opal, and the room's dark, and all you have to do is shine a flashlight on it, floor, and we have this padded floor anyway. And it's black on these black, well, I don't know. I won't tell you, there's sound. Anyway, it worked great. And the opal just stood right out. Look at this. This is a black opal. this is about as dark as it gets, and guess what? It doesn't get its darkness from the pot color of the pots, you know, the body color tone. No, it is dark because of the layer, the fire color. Look at the layer, okay? See, yes, so classically the body tone or color is black opal. But the crystalline fire part is black crystal. So your part of, you can see this, so the part where the fire is reflecting out of is actually a little bit darker than the color of the body tone color. And it actually shows, if you look at this stone, the right-hand side of the stone is a little darker than the left-hand side. See that? Now look at it. See how the right-hand side is actually a little darker? And so that's because the crystalline nature of the part that has the fire itself is dark, which is really rare. It's a great stone to find. Here, let me put this next to my ruby because I know everyone knows and can use that. Oh, I would love to show, to have a ring made just like that, except with that black opal like that. Look at that. All right, I have a really amazing opportunity on this black opal because, you know, black opals aren't just for the wealthy. No, if you get them from someone like me, they can be for everybody. This guy, how about this? Only $93. Only $93 on that one. And you would have a treasure that, so when I was mining the black opal, running the equipment, yep, they actually let me run the equipment. And so you have these big augers that dig into the clay. And when you hear a chink, which even over the sound of the suction blower, which is a 10-inch vacuum hose, pulling up 90 feet, so 10 inches, there is a vacuum up above the perfectly round 30-inch across hole, because that's how big their augers are that they dig them with. Perfectly round holes with a little ladder, one step at a time. Only one shoe fits in it at a time. They hook over each other. You go down 90 feet. If you're lucky and the Australian miners aren't teasing you too bad, like the morning they did me, they said watch for snakes, which was I thought they were kidding the night before when we were at the Barbie, and telling me, you know what, and I thought they were just, you know, having a go. But they were for real. There's no guards around these holes. There's nothing fencing you around. If you're walking in the desert at night, you can drop 90 feet straight down into one of these. And if they're not active, you could be down in that hole for all eternity. So it's completely black. So I get down there, and of course, what do the Aussies do? They turn the lights off. So it is pitch black. But of course, I've been in caves, so it wasn't panicky or anything like that. But there is every real possible, and of course, Australia has the most dangerous, venomous snakes in the world. So I was running the auger. So this blower sucks up rock up 90 feet. You know the pressure, the amount of suction it takes to do that? It's not like the flow of water, like my dredge, where you have the flow of water that helps pick it up. It is air that is picking up that rock. So everything gets sucked up as the auger goes through the clay. When you hear a chink, everything shuts down. And then that is, you know, it's a sound of hitting glass. And then it's dug out. It is so rare, not only to find a piece of opal with color, but to find a black opal, then to find a piece of black opal with fire. Rare on top of rare on top of rare. It is what it is. Very rare. 117-3324. I'm getting ready to show you one of my masterpieces. Simple, elegant, and timeless. It is an honor for me to be able to offer this for resale again after having made it for the wonderful doctor and his wife and family. And now I get to have the pleasure of something I never thought I'd get to do, offer some of my custom pieces again. Look at this for a black opal pendant. I kid you not, boom. that is a number on fire. That is number 1173324. Look at that. Look at that. And believe it or not, this actual play of color is one of my favorites in a black opal. That is stunning. Now let me show you. Yeah. Do you think that's a black opal? Look at that. There is the signature right there on the edge. And having made this in then, that was a prolific, 99. Is that 99 or 98? 98, S98, yep. So 98, 99, year 2000, 2001, I was really prolific, made a lot of things. Look how big the diamonds are on top of this piece. So the diamond clarity, VS2 to SI1, very, very clean diamonds, GH color. You can see how white they are. Look at the big enhancer bail. You don't have to use it, but it's plenty secure because here is the safety. Now, it still doesn't open up because it clips right here. So here is the clip, the first clip. So that will clip over pearls or anything else, and then here is the safety. But look at the size of that opal. Look at the size of that. And that intense blue color radiates out again at every angle. And those diamonds are huge. And we come a little bit further away. I'll give you a better, there we go. There we go. There's a really good idea of how elegant, gorgeous. Look at that. And attractive that piece is. Wow. Stunning. And how about this? If I said this was $3,800, you wouldn't bat an eye. You wouldn't think twice about it. You'd say, yeah, that is worth $3,800. It is a 6-carat opal. That is only, what, a little over 600 a carat on the opal, and you get all the diamonds and gold for free. And look at, that's a lot of gold. That's a lot of gold. But because I made it, well, you don't have to pay for the labor anymore. That is built in now. Here's what I'm going to make it. And also, I was thinking, I haven't heard from Kathy in a long time. Kathy, if you're still just don't out there watching, I think you bought that amazing tanzanite ring from me a while back. I'm going to have a tanzanite, 20-year-old D-block stone. Wait till you see it in a piece, maybe next week for inventory. So anyway, just everybody pay attention if you're looking for any kind of pieces of stunning jewelry. I'm going to have them at amazing prices. This is only $1,188. $1,188, and wow, wow. Look how big it is. It fits in a stand. And that's what you do with these. They are works of art. And that's what I always used to tell my clients was, you know, when you're not wearing a piece of custom-made jewelry, it's a objet d'art. It's a work of art. Display it as if it is a work of art. And enjoy it just walking by at only $1,188. If you had the opal and brought it into me, I would have to charge more than that just to custom make the piece of jewelry for the opal. Of course. I mean, the amount of labor that goes into carving the wax, that bezel, to fit that perfectly and whatnot, yeah, absolutely. Is a piece that would easily command that much, if not more, in its in the making of it and supplying those large diamonds. Now, I better keep going here. Let me show you item number 1171924. Remember, opal, my favorite stone. All of you love opals. I haven't been able to show you many, but maybe I can make up for it a little bit now. Check this out. Check this one out. Leaving it in a suspension case. And look at this, another Australian black opal. So you can see both sides because look at that. Yeah, now that's a black opal. That is a black opal. I was looking for it, and I have it, my black opal scale, my official opal scale. Look at this stone. Look at that. It's one you want people to see the back of, and that's why also in all those other designs I made them to where you can see the back, and none of these hiding it so people don't know whether it's a doublet or solid. No, we want to show off that it is a solid. This has all the colors. Yeah, and you will get to see them in the different lights as you pass through your day, whether it is sunlight, whether it is fluorescent lighting, whether it is this new xenon lighting, which I can't stand. And let me try one more type of light to show you here. And that's what I wanted to show you. Look at the reds in this. That has stunning reds. And again, as you move about, I love opals that have every layer of color in them because you get to see, it's like a kaleidoscope of color, a revolving set of different colors. It looks one way in one light, looks differently in another light. And then look at that, see? So we were just now looking at this lighting. Let's go to this lighting. Without a doubt, you can see there is red, there is everything you want in that piece. Look at that. So, 2.25 carat. Think of what you have seen something like that sell for. Put that price in your head, and then when I say $168, that it is only $75 a carat, you'll faint and fall down. And because you should. That is a $168. Look, let me show you in my hand also how big that is. So you get a relative idea of size, which so many of you requested prior. So as we come back away from it, you'll get a idea of, there we go, just how big that is. That's a nice stone. That's a nice stone. Now, we still got time because I still have the cool stuff. I love it when I have a showcase of gems like I have right now. I've got a mess in front of me. I'll put all this away later. I don't want to waste a moment. Of course, I won't be able to find where the pricing is. Okay, take a look at item 117-2824. Wait, hold on one moment. 117, yep, 2824. This is a Elba, named after the type locality, the island where it was first discovered. Elba, which is an island in the Mediterranean, and that's where one of the most common types of tourmaline is named after Elbite. Look at this, which is a sodium, lithium, aluminum, silicon, boron, hydroxide. Impurities end up to be iron, manganese, copper. That's how you get your Paraíba. Impurities can also be calcite, fluorine, and titanium. Look at what I'm showing you. Look at this. You haven't gotten to see one of these in a long time. Wow. An indicolite crystal in the shape of a tourmaline crystal with white around it, pink around the white, so it's a reverse, and then green. So it's a reverse watermelon tourmaline. It should be green, clear, pink. But now where does the indicolite come in? That is what makes this so special. Look at how thick it is. This is polished on both sides. I haven't seen a tourmaline slice like this in a long time, probably since when I got this tourmaline slice. So these are more treasures that I located again in my never-ending list of inventory. Look at that. And the indicolite part of this, when you look at the outline of the crystal shape, the white around it matches it perfectly. And I have not had one. I can't say I haven't seen them. I have not had one that I can remember that was ever an indicolite center. So let me just show you. There we go. There we go. I just want to show you the light behind it. Look at that blue. That is indicolite. Tell me that's not special. What an amazing piece of jewelry. someone could make out of that. Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to come up with some ideas for the wire wrapping. So this would be cool. So remember, anything you want something wire wrap, come up with something, buy some stones, crystals. Andrew loves to mix shapes and type stones. So that would be all the better. Look at that. Look at that. I am so gonna miss that when it's gone. Especially because, you know, I don't know. These things actually sell for a lot per carat at a show, and I am always surprised by that. But there's a lot of look for the money, so I can understand it. This is from the world-famous Pedernera mine. Pedernera mine is really well known for its pinks and blues in the crystal world when it comes to tourmaline. In many different combinations and mixes and matches, the Pedernera mine is one impressive source for stunning tourmalines, and this is certainly a stunning tourmaline slice. And here's the thing, you know, you guys are going to want millions of these when I tell you the price on this, and you know, I only have one to offer you there and one other one, but I tell you what, I'm still just going to offer it at a really good deal. $44. Only $44 on that. Let's look at item number 1173724. And it was always, of course, important to me where things came from. You know that. I'm a stickler about that. And this next item I'm going to show you is from also the Pedernera mine. Take a look at this. This is another beauty. Look at that. With the classic, I'll get this one out of the way, but if you want to see both for a moment, for comparison purposes. I like to get them to stand up, but if it doesn't, I'll get sticky goot next time. I'll teach you. Okay, so it's thicker that way, and you can see it has a, is that a pink clear and then a greenish yellow center? It's very dichroic or playchroic actually, so you can get different colors just by changing the angle slightly. And this one, how about this? $30. And even $30, $10 a carat. And if you like working with thicker pieces, that would be perfect. But look at the clarity. That is facet grade clarity. And that definitely looks like a classic Pedernera. You know, look at that. I changed that and it looked a little bluish even. So, but that is the magic to tourmaline, is all of its many colors. Let me try this for a moment. Take this off and see what kind of colors you can see. Look at that. By that color, I can see the growth coloring, the color, color zoning that way. And let me backlight it just a smidge. What a beautiful, beautiful thing. Everything, Mother Nature's so amazing. Okay, so unbelievable deal. All right, let's keep going. Oh, okay, item 1172324. Okay, so I still forget, who was it that mentioned jadeite? So I brought in the jadeite carved bat. That was stunning, that large bat. And then, I don't know, I just run across jadeite in the collection when I run across it. So look what I ran across. And I guess I decided to sell it because it's actually a really nice piece of jadeite. Check this out. Check this out. Look at the quality of this. That is, of course, some of the finest color with that green. That's your apple green jadeite. If there's a whole big piece of it, it would be a whole lot of money we'd be talking about. But here is one of the neatest things. So this you can put on a thin necklace, okay? But remember, every carving that is done in Asia, especially in China, has meaning somehow. It's just not randomly carved. So I looked at this, and I looked at this. First, I looked at it for a bat, and I didn't see a bat in general. I'm still not so sure there's not one if I get my head out of it and look at a bigger form. All of a sudden, I saw it. And watch, look at it with me. Now, we focus right here. You can see there is an eye. This comes down to a foot, and then watch around the back leg here. See the back leg? Then you see another back leg right there. Then, okay, so 2 back legs, and you look up here, and there he is. There's the 2 eyes. Here's the mouth. It's a frog, which you know. There's the foot. How important frogs are for meaning. And here's the other foot, the front foot right there, along with the 2 back legs. So, like I said, there's always something carved in a meaning, but there's still too much of this left that I'm sure they worked a bat in, which means money, basically. So here is a really, really high quality piece of natural jadeite, carved very intricately. It has some very fine, high quality apple green jadeite that is a perfect example of it if you ever needed an example of apple green, of the really, really fine stuff. It has to be that really neon type green to be the big money. Anyway, this fun carving, I can't imagine that I'm going to offer the whole thing for only $28. $28 on that guy, and you're not going to find a lot in fine jadeite like that, carved that intricate, of course, for $28. That's just a really neat item, and it could be added even onto like a charm bracelet with the different holes in it. So there's a lot of options that could be expressed with that piece. Now, let me keep moving as the clock keeps ticking. Ho, ho, ho! Steady my beating heart. I forgot about this. Okay. Let's look at item number 117-3124. Oh my. Okay, so what I'm getting ready to show you is an amazing gemstone, and I am even going to turn the table on, because look at what I have for you. I have it in a suspension box, which means I'm going to charge 3 times as much. That isn't even straight, so I'm going to take it out of there. Okay, look at this. This is one of the rarer colors and combination of colors you're going to see in tourmaline. And let me raise this up. There we go. We'll get there. Now, let me say this. Remember, tourmaline is very plechoic. It changes color every different way you want to look at it, especially when it's already bicolor. So only one small pocket was found in 2005. One small pocket at the Coronel Murta mine. Now, I've offered other tourmalines from that mine before, just nothing that looks like this. This is yellow to pink. Now, this is also a very desirable, it disappeared, stone in the metaphysical world, because let me tell you why. If you like the metaphysical side to gemstones, which a lot of people do, let me just show you that for a moment. Look at the cutting on that. Look at incredible, incredible, beautiful, beautiful cutting on that. So in the medical, the yellow aids in manifesting self-esteem, enhances self-esteem, and stimulates creativity. It brings balance and positive energy to you. The pink side promotes sympathy, better understanding, and represents love and humanity, and helps with your humanitarianism and shields against negative energy. So between the two, that should take care of all life's woes. I don't always read that, but I thought the combination of the two together would be pretty cool to see. Now, obviously, this is really clean. You'd be able to see any inclusions if you didn't. Look at on the long end how beautifully orange this is. This is, of course, from my personal collection. And look at the back. Okay, so this is a type cut that I haven't really seen. There's like a scissor cut, modified radiant cut, a combination of everything to this, leaving you with one amazing, rare gemstone. Let me hold it in my hand and show it to you that way before I be thinking of a price, and don't be cheaping out. This is the good stuff. This is the rare stuff. This is the material. Let me show it against white here better so you can really see. Let me cut this off, and yeah. Let me show you the pink and yellow in it. Let me take this off. There we go. There we go. Now we're getting to the real color of it. Thank you, Dave. Dave better straighten me out. Why I was losing all the real color to it. So you have those pinks and yellows in that. That's a beautiful, beautiful gem. And here is the price opportunity. I'm going to move on past it so I can get to another item to show you. Wow. Okay, so the Curdell Murtamine, read about that, because these colors, this particular stone, one small pocket is all that was found. This is only $218. Think about that. 7.31 carat, $218. That's less than $30 a carat. Well less than. My goodness. $218. Let me show you this. Item number 117. 2924, 117-2924. Oh, rock my world. Depends on how you want to call this color. I've heard it called copper. I've heard it called bronze. Bronze is pink. I don't know. Call it what you want, but just don't call me ugly, because this is stunning. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this gem. Now, there's another. Look at that. You see where the different, beautiful, it's really a pinkish orange. Let me take it and off here, put it there, and let's see what that looks like. Let it spin around a little bit in the middle. Sorry about that. This is a beauty. It is a incredible cut again. Look at this. Wow. This has a really strong pinkish orange color tone, but again, with tourmaline, it's so difficult to always show you all the colors involved. Let me get this, here, let me do this. I am going to backlight this. Oops, there we go, a little bit through here. Oh, let me turn this off, so many buttons. And maybe give you a better, there we go, better, you know what? Nature's tweezers, we always said that, hush. There we go, now, let me hold that actually. Let me be clever. Hold on. I'm being clever against a white paper. Try that again, Dave, for a moment. And turn that other light off. I want to show and see if I can show you the stunning color that is actually in here, which I'm not seeing it because it's a beautiful pink and orange. You can see glimpses of it. And here's the thing, it is going to look better when you get it home. Then so far I've been able to capture it here, but you can look at the clarity to that. Look at how clean that gem is. Oh, you need the info on it? Oh, I never gave you the item number on it. My bad on that. Okay, so it is item number 117-3124. Oh, no. Sorry. You're right, I didn't. 117, 26, 24. 117, 26, 24. And yeah, orangey pink. A wonderful, wonderful collector gem. And what a beauty. Let me see. All right, Dave, do your lights there. Let me have that. Let me put it in the white tray for a moment. There's some more of the color see that bronzish copper pink, you know, multicolor. Problem with tourmaline. That, of course, what a great problem that it's plechoic. I love that. Remember, we had that as a trivia question not long ago. Okay, so price on this item, I have it at a unbelievable deal again. And when you get this at home, yeah. So you think about what you would imagine this would sell for normally. And normally I see these at, you know, 100 a carat all day long. And right now, if I offer this, you should jump on it. $318. $318, that's less than $20 a carat. That is probably a regretful price because the clarity alone and the size alone in a stone like that makes it worth that. Look at that. Okay. Now, oh my. Item number 117424. 117424. Look at this. We learned a little bit about this earlier. Karoy opal. Oh, the number is 1172424. Sorry about that. I'm too excited to get to the item. Look at this. Okay, let me show you a Karoy opal. And again, it's from a particular area in, wow, look at that. And it has that particular pattern. I don't know how to describe it, but it's very distinct. That's how you know it's a Karoy opal versus just a Queensland boulder opal. Has all those little semicircular patterns. Look at that. And again, you see back here more of the ironstone, but on this side, more of the siltstone and mudstone holding the silica filling in between it. Look at the colors. Almost every which way you turn it, there's something new in it by way of color that you see. Oh, and I love it when they do something cool like that. Love that. Okay, $68. I kid you not. $68. That ought to get your motor going and some attention there by offering that for only $68. Beautiful piece. Let me show you item number 1171624. Let's see what we have here. Oh, this, something for everybody. Oh my, oh my. These are the finest of the thumbnails. Look at this, tangerine quartz. Would that not make, look at the clarity to those. Look at this one. Oh, look, does it stand up on its own? It's worth more that way. No. Look at that around that opal. See, this is what kind of displays I make at home. I do stuff like this. And then look at that. Look at that in the middle. Oh, it stands on its own. All three of them. That's thrice the price. No, really, this is some of the nicest, beautiful thumbnail-sized tangerine quartz I've ever seen. Look at the clarity to those. Look at those. And then look at that palette of crystals. This is just, it's just small but amazing. Look at this. And when you get these at home, the orange is extremely intense if you're not seeing it as intense as it looks. Now let me see something behind this. There we go. You get to see more of the intense color now. And of course, that is a hematite. That's hematite, so don't go putting it in acids or anything unless you want the orange to come off. But most of these, actually, the orange isn't just on the surface. It is internal as well. Look at this. Look at these. And this is a unique formation to quartz when the one axis is thinner than the other. And a really, look at that, unique situation. So these three, you could give one away if you wanted to, but I think a collection of doing the three, it looks much better that way. So keep them for yourself and don't give them away. That one's just, I'm a goof. How about this, $38 for the three? $38 for all three. And that is a remarkable opportunity. Now, hold on, let me see. Okay, something else coming up here. 117-3524. 117-3524 is going to, I'm glad I had a moment to show this. This tops out, rounds out the Made by Shawn collection for the day today. Oh yeah, I would have been upset if I would have missed out on showing you this one. Hold on a minute, I need to wipe this off. Well, I tell you what, I'll just put this on it for a moment. Dave, forgive me. Dave is the one that makes all these boards and all that hard work involved. Look at this, a black opal pendant that I completely handmade. Where's that in the graphic? Where's the Shawn made? Well, there wasn't necessarily enough room, but if you look right here, you can see, and the year was, it looks like double lot, the year 2000, S00S. It has the enhancer bail with the double safety. So in other words, what I mean by that is, so you can feel secure wearing it, that is the safety. But this is clips. This is, you know, it takes force to even close this down. So you can clip between pearls, clip over large catches, you know, that you can't usually get it. I think, listen, if you heard that. And then the safety on top of that. So you are good to go for safety. Look at the black opal. That is a black opal. And there's no crazing in it or anything like that. It is solid black, and that has the amazing colors that tell you when you see that it's a black opal. And look at the diamonds. And as we come away from this piece and look at it from a distance, look at how large and how evident and how showy that opal is. I hand set, hand carved, handmade this entire piece. That was 24 years ago now. And it's great because the estate, the family, still came back to me all those years later. So it was an investment in people when I had my 2 jewelry stores, and investment in people for them to come back and trust me enough to offer the items back to me to give me a chance to resell the wonderful, wonderful pieces that I so enjoyed making for him. And in this family, the energy was so good, so clean, so pure, so positive. He was a wonderful, wonderful children's pediatric doctor, and just a great, great guy. Look at that. That's a work of art. A work of art sitting right there. Okay, let me see if I can find which one. Yikes. Okay, so here is a choice. Just give me 1 minute here. I want to make sure I get this this right, because if not, could cost myself a lot of money. I am just not believing that this is as inexpensive as it's going to be. All right, so this one was $1,188, the one on the left, right? Okay, you can look for the stats on that earlier in the show. The one on the right, the same price, $1,188. $1,188, I can promise you, you would see that for over $4,000 in another environment or in another situation. What if it was $3,000? Cut it whatever way you want. You're not going to get it to $1,188. I would charge that much just to make it. Just to make it. So here is two choices. I wish I could give you a deal if you took them both, because they're so inexpensive. You could resell them, but they are already so inexpensively priced. I can't go a penny less than that. But yeah, $1,188. I still have a couple minutes. I found that at the last moment. What else am I going to find at the last moment that I haven't shown? Oh, yes, there is another item. Just keep looking, Shawn. They keep popping up. Item 117, 2224. 117, 2224. You should see all the gems and jewelry around me. This is the way I love it. Mass chaos of gems and jewels. Look at this. And this probably will be the last item of the show, because it may take that long to talk about it, because it is that exciting. It is an opal, but it is a Karoy opal of another level. Look at that. You know, when you move it, it looks like blood moving through veins just now, except it's fire. Doesn't it look like? Okay, Shawn, you're a wacko. I already know that, though. Look at that. Look at that opal. You know, they actually say that, of course, people get a better value buying a Karoy opal, and many people find them more attractive. Look at this. It's double-sided. It's double-sided. I mean, what do you do with that? You make double-sided pieces. I made plenty. I don't know which side is prettier. Look at that. I love Karoy opal. It's really underappreciated, underlooked, and now come away from it, Dave, so I can show people that it's obvious from a distance. Look at that. From a distance, you can see the fire coming out of it, and that it's something special and different. Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll make this the last item of the show. Dave's saying, I got to get to my other show. And you know what? I am going to make this opal only $158. That's $14 a carat. And normally with ironstone, a carat price doesn't really matter, because the ironstone can weigh so much and it can just be wasted added weight on the back. But when it's double-sided and the color goes all the way through, yeah, it is worth every carat of value. Look at that, $158. I have more for you, but I don't have time. We'll be right back with trivia. Okay, you know, the group I work with are just great. So I've been sitting here chatting with Latif, going back and forth, and he was working with me on the trivia questions. And so it's really fun when someone from the production team, you know, outside, you know, of basically the trade itself. In other words, I still cut stones. You know, this is my livelihood, but Latif's is production. So when he takes an interest in coming up with a trivia question and has, you know, really great insights. Now, I do have to say this. Latif, and I've seen his work, was actually taught to facet a number of years ago, and has done great work, great stone cutting. So some of you may remember they were even putting up there, you know, cut by Latif. So I'm impressed with that he took that far and did that well with it. still now just, you know, kind of hanging with production and not following up with it, but absolutely interested because there was the second question on here that he knew the answer to it, but he couldn't pull it up in his mind. But when he did, he said, oh, that's right. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. People wanting to know that knowledge, wanting to retain that kind of knowledge. And if you don't, it's okay, because this is still just a hobby for most all of us. I mean, obviously I do this for a living, but it's my hobby I do for a living. It's my ability from a young age. I strategized so that I could do my hobby my entire life for a living. And I only went off track there one time because I discovered girls, sold my equipment, bought a boat and a cool car, still didn't have much luck with the women, and I had no money, and I had to wait and work at a fish market, coming home smelling like fish every night. And I thought, something's wrong with this. Picture, at 14, I was making $500 a week cutting stones for people coming back from North Carolina at ruby mines, and now I'm at a fish market by the time I was 16. So the people that bought my equipment, they didn't have the passion. They didn't know what to do with it. So I was able to buy back my equipment cheaper than what I sold it to them for, got my equipment back, started back with my hobby, started back making a living with it, and here we are. Never strayed since, and love it every day. Okay, we have a couple questions. I think Latif's boss man needs to get up there and run the big department that he's managing. So let's get to those questions. Hope you enjoyed the show. A lot of neat things that we showcased. Not so many mineral specimens this time, but I've been showing mineral specimens for weeks. I thought it was time to put the gem in gem collectors, and we certainly did it. If you can break those piggy banks, find those quarters underneath the couch seats, do what it takes, because I put up some amazing opportunities, not even figuring what the gold is and continues to be. So take advantage of them. Do take advantage of them, and you'll be helping me out, and you're going to be getting of my custom-made pieces a piece of me, because in every one of the items I made, a part of my heart went into them. Truly, truly. So, okay, ready? Question number 1. What is the name of the most common variety of tourmaline? Now, by variety, you may not have really noticed it as much. Like garnet, you know variety. Almandine, pyro, spessartine, uvarovite, those kind of things. Andradite, I guess we could name them all. But that's what I'm talking about. Tourmaline, for an example. Dravite is a variety of tourmaline. And there's others that we've talked about too, but I'm not going to tell you any more about them. What is, and we don't often say this, we often just say, oh, it's a tourmaline. But in most cases, it is this type of tourmaline that we discussed in today's show. And for a little extra credit, not only the name of it, but what was the origin of the name. So what was the origin of the name for the extra credit? Now, question number 2. And Latif said I may have asked this before, but it's worth asking again. It's one of those questions that it's important to know, if for no other reason except, and I normally wouldn't say this, except to show off. Yeah, I can't tell you how the difference it makes if you're standing at a gem and mineral booth and you're working, let's say, talking to the dealer, and he's giving you, I mean, believe me, I know, until I became well recognized at these places, I would be looking at specimens, getting very little of their time or attention. whether it was the way I look or not, you know, but I go up humbly looking at them. As soon as I would pick up a specimen and mention a much deeper level of knowledge about it, or mention something that might have been wrong on the tag as opposed to what was written, and in most all those cases, a lot of dealers, they actually knew what I was saying, and that in one, I remember one specific case that he said, wow, he goes, you're right. He goes, I've had a dozen people come by and look at that specimen, and you're the first one to point out the inconsistency in its description and how it was mislabeled. So when I did that, when I would do that, it would instantly open doors on another level. And eventually, of course, I would be able to get wholesale pricing and establish long-term relationships, because it wasn't just a long-haired hippie that was on the other side of that counter or the other side of that booth. You can imagine. I could give the dealers quite a run for their money when it came to picking at their inventory, right or wrong, or otherwise. But it will, and amongst your friends, and amongst your Rockhound friends, not for any other reason, but to let other people know that you're just not into this hobby as a happy-go-lucky, silly tourist that just likes rocks for their metaphysical properties or something like that. You know, so just a thought. Try it sometime. And if it's not something that you know more of than the actual dealer selling the item, that's I can tell you some cases, including the Raven sitting here, about the chrysocolla in the malachite specimen that got away, only because I was trying to get a better price. She didn't let me live that one down. Okay, question number 2. What element, due to radiation, is responsible for ametrine's color? What element, due to natural radiation, is responsible for ametrine's color? And for extra credit on that one, tell me the general source recognized for or of the radiation. So what was causing the natural radiation in the ground? Okay, so I've got a lot to do because I have a lot more coming to show you, and I can't wait. I am so excited, and you should be too. God bless everybody. Enjoy the eclipse, however way you're going to watch it. These are truly rare astronomical events when they do occur. And remember, this whole Earth is only here because of astronomical events colliding into each other, slowly building what we know is the big blue marble. As Anthony says, eyes down. And as Jimbo says, because that's where the good stuff is to be found. Cheers and love to all, and I can't wait to see you next Monday again. Oh, yay.